Okay. He was saying he wanted to join. There we go. Cool. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Well, I think it's morning. It's morning for me, GM. Yeah, it's so great to see everybody here, and I feel so good about the result of the last call and Connect and Communitas and everything is going now, and so grateful to have Almond and Franco here. And the call is going to be our first of many on a new path, and that feels good. So I guess we can just start with like intentions and distractions, and go ahead and go around for that. I can start. Today I woke up with a crazy headache, but other than that, I'm feeling great and ready to go. My intentions for the call are just to facilitate something smooth, make sure everybody feels like they're in the loop, and and that we get to talk about any agenda items that people might want to talk about. And other than the headache, I don't really have any distractions. And I will pass it to Nicola.
Thank you, Ashley. Sorry to hear about your headache. Hi, everyone. I am feeling pretty great today. My intentions for the call are to see how I can merge and just integrate myself more into the group, see what, basically orient myself better and start putting more effort in this working group. And distractions, really. Pass it to Franco.
Hey everyone, I'm feeling a little bit hangover from last night, but other than that, I feel great. And yeah, my intention for the goal is kind of like see what's going on in the working group and try to learn like how do you work and how do you organize things and see where I can offer help and try to like fit into this group and see where I can help. And I'll pass it to Almond.
Hey everyone, GM. My distractions maybe would be that yesterday I had a really big dinner, so I still feel kind of full. And my intentions for the call is to catch up and to update in all the work that the team has been doing, to also propose and throw some ideas and contribute to the work stream. And I pass it to Kotabe.
Kotabe? Oh, it looks like you jumped out. Maybe he'll be back. How about in the meantime we pass it to Jake?
Sounds good. Intentions very similar to Nicola, since I haven't joined many of the calls before. Listen up, see where I can provide insight, take some projects where needed. Distractions, not much. So I will pass it on to Claire.
Oh, we can't hear you, Claire. I think you're muted.
She's texting something in the chat that she's definite. Maybe somebody else can take it in the meantime.
Yeah, let's pass it to Ahmad.
Thanks, Ashley. Yeah, I think this is my first time on this call. I'm joining because we changed the time of the Connect working group and I think merged it with this call. So I wanted to come and see how I can help out and see what the next plan are for that group. So yeah, I'm just excited to sit in. I'm not distracted and I'm ready to start. Let me pass it on to Rainer.
Hi there. Sorry, I'm muting slow and my camera doesn't really work. I don't know. My intention is to get a feel for this sort of new group for me, since we decided on the reformation dismantling of the Connect group. So I'd like to get a feel, and also maybe talk through some of the things that we might want to discuss here around the what did you call it, the memo or the manifesto for the group. If we can make progress on that. Distractions. I have 2 more days before I'm gonna board a flight to San Francisco for Burning Man. So I'm packing and trying to get my desk clean and have the kids under control at the same time. And I pass on to Franco. Have you gone yet?
I already went, but I can pass it to Tropical Mango.
Thanks.
Hey guys, so my intention is to sync up, listen in, and just get an idea of what's going on with the team. And I'm feeling good. And I will pass it to, let's see, one sec. Need that trick to Clara Z.
Claire, are you there now? Are you able to talk? Or are you still here? I don't know. People seem like they're having some audio issues. I know Corey said in the chat that she's not able to hear people and severe audio distortion, but that's strange. For me, I don't have any audio issues. Is anybody else having audio issues?
No.
No,
Okay,
can jump
let's try
in
pass it
while
over.
Clara.
Go ahead, Katawe.
Yeah. Hey everyone. Super excited to be here right now in this new time and with such a big forum. So I'm feeling good about this. My intention is to kind of like make the best out of this time that we have together, and maybe just talk a little bit about the times that we have decided for the KPI meeting, just to close that. And that's it. I'll pass it to say Jess.
I'm sorry, who did you say?
Jess Vero.
Oh. Jess, are you there?
But if not, we can pass it to Bigamot.
Okay, let's pass it to Bigamot.
Sure, I can go. What should I answer? Oh, my intention for the call. So to learn more about this group and what you guys are doing, as suggested by Ashley. And in terms of destruction, I have way too many to list. We should go next.
Let's see.
I can hear now.
Claire, do you want to try? Okay. Our giant kin.
Hello there. My intent for the call is just to keep a pulse on the finger. No, wait, finger on the pulse. Oh, jeez. My distractions. I'm trying to eat breakfast. I can remember. Oh, I got a hard stop at 11:30 for multi-sig stuff. But other than that, and I seen Claire message that she can hear now. So if she can take it.
Hi everyone. My intentions for the call are just to enjoy us all being together. It's a nice big group today. Looking forward to syncing up with everybody and seeing how we're all going to move forward in this nice new gang of us. And I'm interested to talk a little bit about metrics today. It's on Kotabe's agenda, I know, and looking to see how we can all move forward and work towards getting some kind of measurement of things. And I'm not distracted now. I can hear you all and all my sound problems are sorted. And I don't know who to pass it to because I don't know who's been. So sorry.
Yeah, I think you are. Oh, Corey just hopped in. Corey, are you able to hear us now? Is it better?
Can you say more than one sentence? I'm sorry. I could barely hear that. I just heard Corey.
Can you hear us? Is your audio still having problems? I'm talking.
I can actually, it's still problematic, but I could understand that entire sentence, so that's an improvement.
All right, well, did you want to do a check-in? I think you're the last one.
Yeah, I am fine. Hoping that I can understand this meeting. And yeah, intention is just to sync on all things Connect. And I don't have any distractions other than, yeah, the audio working. So I'm here.
Okay, great. I'm not muted also. All right, I guess I would like to just start maybe by giving a little recap of what happened in the Connect call, the last Connect call that we had. Basically, we kind of came to the understanding that between Communitas and communications that we are really covering a lot of the bases that Connect was focusing on, and that the bandwidth over there had become so small that it made more sense to delegate the tasks to Communitas and communications and that to dissolve the Connect working group. So the Connect working group is no longer, and some members have come over to Communitas, and we're going to try to incorporate some of that stuff into this working group. And then some of the outreach stuff and the donor relations stuff that Jake's working on will be done. The CRM and things will be more connected with communications. So just to kind of give you guys an overview there, that was kind of what happened, the outcome of that call. So I've created this agenda, and I heard in check-ins that we wanted to also talk about KPIs and the roadmap, metrics, and stuff like that. And I have that here on the top. So I'll go ahead and just let Kotabi take it from here.
Okay, I really don't want that much time this session for this. Rather, I just wanted to update you all that right now we have two top contenders for the time of the meeting, which is just before the community call on Thursday and just after. So if someone has not voted yet, although most people actually did, yeah, you can vote. But I think, I mean, unless there is like super strong objections right now, there's 7 people that are able to make it after the community call. That's the most voted. The people that can't are well, that voted no were Sim, Claire, Almond, and Franco. So if you can, it will be amazing. I think that your input will be super valued. Anyways, we're going to record, and yeah, I mean, you can like I want to keep that mural as a living document, so you can contribute also later on. But I think unless there are like strong objections, we can just set up that one that it's the most voted one after the community call. Are there any strong objections?
Sorry, so the suggestion is to have it right after the weekly call?
Yes.
The weekly community call on Thursday. So basically it'll be a session just to kind of look at some of the metrics, as well as like maybe form some KPIs and some OKRs for this working group and kind of the larger community circle as a whole, I believe. Kotabe's got like a strategy session set up for us to go through.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so I guess we'll give it till the end of the day, and then I guess first thing in the morning, if nobody's voted, I add it to the calendar, or should I add it to the calendar just as now? Do we feel like we have enough agreement?
I think so. I mean, we have 7 people voted that time. No strong objections right now, so I think that we're good to go. And
Okay.
I had a call yesterday with Jake. He brought up a really good point. He felt like he said KPI sounds just like it makes me reject the idea because I just don't like the how it sounds. So there we might rebrand KPIs and just keep measuring and managing what we're doing, but call it differently in a more, I don't know, maybe like region way,
Okay.
so that it feels nicer in our bones.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you can just think about it like if there is another word to kind of like.
You could call it something like strategic measurement, or I don't know.
Yeah,
Something
we can. Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
No, I was just saying like we can like bring some suggestions and vote on it on the session.
Good idea.
Okay. So I will add that to the calendar after this call, and we'll come up with some ideas of what alternate language we can use around KPIs and OKRs to be less corporate, because I agree. Okay, I think that sounds pretty good for that topic. I guess next I just wanted to check in on how D-Work is going, how is getting the channel set up and stuff. Kotabe, have we come to a final setup for that, or are we still working on this?
Still working on it, and there will be like more work. I had with Heather a great call with the work best practices, and there is so much more that we can do to kind of like make it more appealing and helpful. So I mean, there will be some work to do still on the development of it. But right now, it's going good. I'm also going to close the poll on. So if you have not voted, I think I will close that poll just after this call for the multi-sig, which is going to be what we are going to use to pay on the work. Basically, right now there are three options. One is a 2 out of 5 multi-sig, which is a bit weak, but it doesn't have so much. It doesn't hold too much money. So as long as two people will say yes, that will be easy. And the idea is we're going to have several bounties, so we just want to make it kind of like easy to sign the transactions. But on the other hand, yeah, it is weak. So there are also the suggestion of 3 out of 7 or 3 out of 8 for the multi-sigs. So right now, 3 out of 8 is winning. Feel free to cast your vote. It's multiple choice, and you can also vote for the people that are there.
And this is something that's temporary for right now, right? Until we move into more circle budgets, or once the circle or the working group budgets, or once that is established, are we still going to be using this multi-sig after that, or?
I don't know. We'll see. I think not so much. I think that once that we have like circle budgets, it doesn't make that much sense to have too much on it. But maybe at some point, like we can have something there in case like a circle is missing. I don't know. Oh, I'm missing 500 USD in Give, or just like something small to kind of like round up their budget. Maybe or maybe we can just close it. We'll see, I guess.
And all right, that makes sense. And then the channels, I guess, in Discord, have we figured out like what's going to go where? Do I need to rearrange anything in the Discord channel wise, or is that gonna stay how it is for now?
I need to work a little bit on some things. I saw that recently the suggestions went into ideas. I think it's not bad, but yeah, we can keep talking about it. Let me chew on everything like from this Friday's meeting and what we have talked about, and see if we are going to make some things different with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is share. and I had a call with Bigamot, who's here now, and we've gone through kind of getting this working group onboarded. So the next step in this is to fill out this form. So our contributors of this working group, if you're an active contributor and want to be part of this working group, please fill out this form. I will also put it in the chat here, but it's in the Notion document. And then we can start getting this set up so that we can onboard at least contributors for this working group and have some community building tasks in there. And we'll use this to kind of at least pilot with our working group and see if in the future we can use it for any other working groups or any other parts of Giveth. So yeah, is that, I know a lot of people might not know what share is. Is there anybody who has questions about this? Since I think this is the first call for a lot of people.
Yeah, if you could make like a little resume about what share is, would be super helpful.
I have here a. I can kind of show you. So this is what they've made for Shapeshift. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So it's basically like this really, really smooth, nice onboarding flow for contributors. And we can kind of customize this how we want it to be. I think that we can have this be kind of take the place of the form that we're currently using in Typeform for contributors or interested people that are interested in joining. So it kind of runs you through an introduction, and this is for Shapeshift, so it will be for Giveth, obviously, but a little bit about Giveth. This will be like our working group and team members of our working group. The vision, mission, values, and we can put any of the like cultural stuff here that we want, whether this is in general for Giveth or just specific to our working group. We can kind of customize this however we'd like. And then once you go through the overview, then you start going in, you can connect your wallet. Connect in after this, you can also connect into Discord and different accounts that you have there. There we go. And then people can put like different skills. Like there's a little update or overview, bio, username, different account handles, and then here they can put in like different skills and levels of skills. So it's like I have design skills at this level, different tags and stuff are new skills that aren't on the list, their current availability, how many DAOs they want to help out with, and these are all questions that we can customize going forward. And once you're in here, then you have your own dashboard. There's different tasks that we could be working on. And I really want to work on having like recurring tasks. So like in GitHub, we have just one task, you complete it, and then the issue is closed. But in here, it would be nice since we have like these community builder tasks that we do on a weekly basis and these routines and stuff, that it would be more of like a to-do list or like a check-off list of the things for that week that haven't been paid attention to or something. Anyways, this is an experiment and we're learning with it. But yeah, the first step to onboarding would be to fill out this form with your information so we can get you on the team part. Now, where am I? Here we go.
I have a quick question. What's the relationship of that to Sobol?
Sobol is a different, they are not related at all.
But it asked for similar information, right? It was supposed to help to see the structure of a working group or even Giveth overall and who's where and does what and has what kind of skills and stuff. So it looked a bit like an HR tool. I was just wondering,
kind
is
of
there
like
overlap in functionality?
Not with Sobel, no. It's more, there would be a lot more overlap with like this and what we're doing with D-Work. So it's like bounties. Essentially, it's like, onboarding, getting people's information, and then they can take on bounties and get paid for them through that. And it's interesting because this is a tool that Bigamot has brought to us. I remember seeing this in a community call months ago about, and it was just a pitch deck and an idea, and now he has come back, and the timing is a little off because we just started using D-Work, so we're not going to use this as a whole as Giveth and with bounties right now, since our setup with D-Work is already running and it's being pretty successful. But it would be nice to pilot this like within our working group and see how we can use it for our community building tasks and Communitas in general.
Quick question, if I can. So that was the Shapeshift one you showed us. Has there been a share version kind of customized for Giveth already? Or have we got to work on that?
Yeah, that's what we're working on now, and I just need for whoever wants to be a part of it or is interested in experimenting and playing around with this. I put a link to the form in the chat as well as in the Notion document. And once I've got your information, we're gonna start building the Giveth version of it.
Understood. That's what the link's for. Great, thanks.
Question: which of the information that you just showed is public? Is it behind a, only accessible for people that sign in with their wallet and then belong to the same working group or something, or is it completely public?
The information. Go ahead.
Maybe I should answer that. So the information, all of that is public, but there's no personal information over there, right? Just like social handles and your wallet and your Discord and your skill set. So there's nothing like personal information that like email or anything like that will show.
And the tasks and stuff, is that also public for everyone out there?
Sorry, what was that about tasks?
The tasks, are these also public for everyone out there?
Right. So the idea is that, and I don't want to, take too much time to talk about that, but basically that's part of the idea that all of the tasks are being public. So all of the tasks that you're completed are public, and now they are part of like your on-chain CV, right? And as you complete more tasks, you're basically building your skills, and this is verified and connected to the payments that were made to you, including the actual work that was delivered, right? Whether it's like the GitHub PR or like design files or product files or whatever translations, whatever was that.
I see. So this is more than just a team group work kind of software piece. It also is supposed to build something like a public history of your professional achievements or something like that.
Exactly. So I can think of that sort of merge between like a freelancer marketplace, right? So something like Dwork or like Fiverr outside of Web3, and something like LinkedIn, right? But in LinkedIn today or some of their similar platforms, you can only show, you can just talk super high level about what you have done, right? And you don't have access to the actual work. And the idea is that in Web3, because all of it is open and public, we can actually connect it and show it, right? And then you can actually do very interesting things with that, right? So maybe you'll be able to use this, in other platforms as well, right? Because again, it's all public and on the chain, right? So it's not for us to own or anything like that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, with it going forward and seeing what kind of value we can bring to this working group using this tool, and maybe in the future expand it to other working groups that might help. I know that Ahmad and I had this type form that we've been using for new interested parties, and I think that this is what I really see the potential here with this tool is this onboarding flow, and we can customize it in any way that we want. And maybe we have opportunities where people can learn more about Giveth and things like that. Maybe we have some different tasks in there that's like, complete this video course or something like this. And yeah.
Yeah, or like make your first donation on Giveth, for example.
Right, like some of these like small tasks or quests or something to get people just more engaged in the community and feel like they're providing value from the moment that they step in the door, So fill out the form and we will keep moving forward there. And then I want to go back. I see somebody has added some stuff. So yeah, it looks like somebody added here the fundraising 101 recordings. Oh wait, I think this might be from last week actually. Did somebody add this, or is this from last week? I think this is from
last week.
Okay. I added this issue. Let's see. I don't think Ben's is here in this call right now. I'll touch base with him and see how this is going. I think this is just like adding this video to the Project 101 video course. So I think that we could easily just edit some of the stuff from the fundraising session that we had and create a video to add to the project video course. I made an issue. I'll check in with Ben's and see how that's going. And then Katabe, have you gotten any more information from Danny Bell or started to coordinate for the next one? Do we have any details on the next one, or is that still kind of in the works? Katabe, can you hear me?
Sorry, sticky mute button. Yeah, no, I haven't, but I will. I will talk with Daniel this week. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then stuff with Bankless. Have you been talking with them anymore, or is this still kind of on hold? I saw that they have a project now on Giveth.
They do. I think they have two actually, Bankless Brazil and Bankless Academy. And there might be more to come because on Gitcoin they actually can only have one, like for the umbrella.
Okay. You kind of cut out at the end there, but there will be more projects to come from Bankless because on Gitcoin they can only have one grant, and on Giveth they can have multiple projects. Okay. And then it looks like the next thing on here is gravity and conflict resolution. I know we've brought it to the community call now just to let the community know that we have a process. There is a type form that can be filled out. And I think honestly at this point it's just making sure that that information is known and available to our contributors and community members until we start having any kind of cases coming in. And then I think the development of the procedure process will evolve as we move forward. Unless Nicola, do you have anything to add to this today, or anybody else that is interested in doing gravity stuff?
I think it's a good idea to start like this, and you just make it known that who are the gravitons and how can you get support. And yeah, I agree 100% with what you said, and also maybe just something will come up as we go. So the ideas at the moment, it's good to go for start.
Okay. And then CRM, Jake?
Yep, just one making a plea. It's just me in the CRM right now with updates and uploading contacts, donors, partners, projects, anybody. So please feel free to use it. I think it's a great place so that we can stay in touch and know where people stand. So that's all it was just I noticed that it's still only me in terms of uploading any data into there. If you need assistance, let me know. Otherwise, I'd love to see some other assignees in there adding.
Cool. What would be how would somebody who's interested in adding to it go about getting involved or getting an account or getting connected?
All you have to do is send me an email. your best email. So far, most of the people on this call have already done that, and you're added in there. Then you just create a quick account, and you're connected to the Giveth account. And if you need any like small tutorial, if you haven't used HubSpot before, please just reach out. I have time for anybody to assist with HubSpot and kind of show how to add a contact, how to add a company, an organization, how to create a deal pipeline where you can quickly slide them through, like in GitHub with ZenHub, how we do there. So it's very similar in that aspect that you can really keep track, and it's really user friendly, similar to ZenHub and GitHub. So please use
In
it.
the cases
Use
that we
it.
would want to add to the CRM, this is like, I mean, what can you give us an example of something that we would want to add to the CRM?
Yeah, for example, I know that there's been contact with the team with, certain donors that are big name that we kind of maybe just start a Discord group for. It'd be great to put that contact in there, and then anything from the thread, that any messages that have been put on Discord or between you and them, add in there, so that, for example, if someone were to leave Giveth, or it's handed off to me, for example, since I'm doing a lot with projects and donors and partners, then I kind of know where it stands, or if you're on vacation or holiday. So it's just really good for donor specific, also for project onboarding if you have a direct contact, for partnerships if you have a direct contact. I know there's been a lot of talk with SGG Impact. You can go in there, you can see all the notes that I've put in there from SGG. And of course, if anybody else talks to Brian over there, you can update the notes and we can piggyback off of each other with those notes. And it just makes it really nice, so that using another example of SGG and Brian, say someone spoke to him and I didn't know that Brian's been reached out to, and there's communication already between you and Brian. I can kind of read that in the notes and then take it from there, or reach out to the person that put the notes in there. So it just kind of creates more of a seamless network and connection.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I have a couple things I could add in there.
I would appreciate it, Ash.
Okay, the last thing that I have on the agenda that I haven't started even yet is we've changed the Discord channels, and now we need to update our Discord guide. If anybody feels like taking this on, that's great. If not, I will get to it hopefully by the end of this week or next week, before Burning Man. I will finish it before Burning Man if nobody else wants to jump in and do it. So that's pretty much just the only outstanding task that I have. Yeah. Well, I know we have so many people now in this call. It feels great, but then also I'm like, I don't have so much stuff to keep everybody engaged. But maybe let's just open it up. We've got about 20 more minutes, and if there's anything that anybody in here feels like we should talk about, or things that we talked about in the last Connect call that maybe we need to continue discussion on, anything that comes up, just let me know. And if not, I mean, we can take this 20 minutes and have it back.
I have a quick question. Just trying to catch up here. I understand that the Connect team is being dissolved, correct? And distributed across Communitas and Communications Group. So if someone's reaching out and saying, hey, I have a project, I'm interested in Giveth, what do you do? What do we do with that if they reach out to like anyone across the DAO?
I mean, if I see somebody reaching out, I try to help them. I hold their hand and see where they're at in the process of getting the project up. You can always direct them to the project onboarding channel in Discord if they're a member of Discord. They can email info@giveth.io to get assistance. So that's one way to reach out if they're not on Discord. And I check that email all the time. Nicola is also in there. I think Claire is also in there. So we can answer questions that way, or even just put a message in the project onboarding channel if they're not in Discord, and just get somebody to pass the torch to somebody that will then help them. But yeah, I look out for that all the time in Discord, and I just help people.
Okay, yeah, because I think most of them I'm not going to expect to use Discord. Like it's LinkedIn, you know, people are reaching out and being like, hey, this looks interesting. How can I find out more? Like it's also a little bit kind of, I don't feel like it's super, like, I don't know, giving them like an email. You know, it's kind of nice to just maybe that's a good way to do it. Like going into our Discord and being like, can someone reach out to this person?
Or you
Yeah,
also,
yeah. So if they like reach out to you in general, you can always just ask for somebody to go ahead and reach out to them. I mean, as far as creating a project, it's pretty simple. Like I usually send them a link to the getting started, and ask them, you know, do you already have a wallet or something like that? But for the most part, it's pretty self-explanatory. There's a few people that just don't get it, I guess, but yeah, I don't know.
and Corey, I've been doing a bunch of project outreach in terms of like that Gitcoin project. So I'm fielding calls and doing quick meetings. If you want somebody to kind of be POC and kind of just speak to them about Giveth, feel free to send them my way. If you're talking about, like Ash was saying, actual project onboarding and creation of projects, then you know, definitely go to Ash.
Yeah, it looks like Corey's having some hard times with her audio still. She put a
Yeah, I'm sorry. This channel is like totally messed up for me. I'll ask it again to, yeah, thanks for some of you responding. I'll probably just bring it up in the comms call. Hopefully that channel is smooth, but I had the same problem last week. I'll follow up, but thank you. That was my only question. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah.
I also have some questions around the transition, so to speak. When we talked last week, you said there is the manifesto that you copied from, I think, TEC, that you would find a valuable document to adapt for this group, to have clarity about the focus, you know, the scope, what is the stuff that is groups generally working on. And you said that you would sort of make available a copy of it so that we can edit it. Is that something that we still want to tackle this week or next?
Yeah,
Or at least
definitely.
start doing it?
The document, let's see if I can find the link here.
It would be great to have a sort of a link to that in the Communitas channel, so that we can, you know, make sure that we all work on the same thing.
Yeah, I'll put it there right now. I just got the link. So I'll put in the Communitas headquarters this manifesto document from the TEC. We can kind of like maybe async go in there and leave some comments or suggestions on how we would want to augment it to be for our working group, but I think that there's a lot in there that we can already leverage.
Cool. I also guess it's kind of related to Kotabi's session, right? You want to talk about KPIs, then you want to know
I think
what's
that's
the
kind of
material goal here. Yeah. And another more formal detail. Are you gonna? I assume you're gonna be the one sort of announcing the change and transition and stuff on Thursday in the community call.
Yeah, in the community call, I can do it, or you can do it if you feel called to. I don't have any attachment, but I can also. I think it's important that we let everybody.
It's okay for me that you do it. Yeah.
Okay, I put a link to the document there in the Communitas channel, and I'll put one here in this document in the Notion agenda as well.
And then maybe two more sort of updates. There are two forum discussions right now that now fall under Communitas. One has to do with the discussion around, you know, should there be something like a give forward program for projects so that they are also rewarded, not only the donors. And that's been quite a heated discussion. And we're not going to be able to sort of close it completely before Burning Man. And I'm going to add something like a summarizing post that we can pick it up in September. Just we discussed that also in the governance call, but just to make sure that this group is also in the loop with that. And the other one is around project ranking, and that's also something that we should sort of not resolve, but sort of implement in September and October or so. So just that
Okay.
you're aware of these two things that are now part of Communitas in a sense.
Yeah, I'm glad that I can add them here to this agenda, and I'll see them again next week, whenever I go to make the new one. And yeah, the project's getting givebacks or the rewards one, that one has definitely become a heated discussion. Yeah, might take a little while to come to a conclusion on that. And then project ranking, I haven't looked at it for a while. Has there been action over there or discussion around it more, or?
No, but I think there's enough material there to actually work on maybe a specs sheet or something, so something that could
Okay.
be detailed enough so that we can talk to devs at some point. I think we're not there yet. We're more on the conceptual level. But I think that would be the next step. I just wanted to make sure that it doesn't get lost and that people are aware
Yeah.
that it's still going on.
Okay. I will put links to them here.
And I feel responsible for that. So if anyone would like to add something to that, but I think it's my responsibility to make sure that it makes progress.
Okay, so links to both of those forum posts are here in the Notion agenda, in case anybody wants to go and get involved in the discussion there and track the progress as we go.
Okay. Also, maybe while we're here, instead of me chewing on what I heard, maybe it will be good to hear people's opinion on the where should Discord notifications go into the work notifications go into our Discord. So there are a few key notifications. One is when we create a new task. This could go, Ashley and I were talking, and it could go either to help wanted or bounties. And maybe, I mean, we want to have it in a public place where people can just see it, even without assigning themselves roles, because we face the issue that like people that were coming from the work will not follow up on these things as easily. So even before self-assigning a role, they should be able to be there. I think that it makes sense to have it either on help wanted or in bounties, and maybe even we can, I don't know, merge those two channels. I don't know what you think about that.
To which channel?
Either you mentioned like it will be good to have this when a new task is created and people can apply to it, to have it. Well, maybe I envision that for bounties, and maybe we can like bounties and help wanted and bounties, like merge those two into one channel.
I think it's a really good idea to have it in a public place. The only thing I would say about the help wanted space is I think that's something that Heather created for our advertising hiring roles. So probably just give her a quick note and see what she thinks to merging the two.
Yeah, I think it was created to put jobs and hiring opportunities out there. I feel like right now we're not doing so much of that, and it makes sense to have tasks, bounties or roles or jobs or like a job board, and you could pick up bounties or jobs there. But yeah, I think it's good to check in with her.
With whom?
Heather?
Okay, yeah, I can ask her. Then, well, when they when they are applied to, then it goes to a different thread, and that we cannot modify right now. So no biggie talking about that. And once that it is assigned, the person that created the bounty and the reviewers have to be able to kind of like follow up on that. And for that, we were talking about where will it make most sense to keep track of those things. And also we talk about maybe working group stewards or bounties. I don't know. I feel I lean over a little bit to working group stewards since they are most likely the ones that are going to be reviewing the work, but also kind of like just wanted your opinions on this.
I think the working group stewards channel is a good idea. It's one thing to take into consideration, are we going to want anybody that's not a working group steward to be able to access this information, because that channel is only open to working group stewards.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe.
So if there's any reason that somebody who's not a working group steward would need to access the information, then maybe we should put it somewhere else. But if it's only working group stewards that need to access it, then, I mean, is it only working group stewards that will be making bounties, or will there be anybody creating bounties who's not a steward?
I think, I mean, bounties are going to be decided within the circle and subgroup eventually. And I mean, they will be decided by the group, and anyone should be able to review it, just not to overwhelm working group stewards. So that's a good point. It might make sense to have it then under, yeah, maybe as you said, under the thread where they can, like, it's, this one starts a thread, so maybe it makes sense to have it under like this help wanted or bounties channel wherever they are being created.
Yeah, and we could change it. I mean, we can change the name of it easily. It could be like bounties and jobs or something like this, or something like, I don't know.
Okay. And last one is there is also an option for people to give suggestions. It was actually recently used, and that one is channeled to the Ideas Discord channel. I think it still makes sense to keep it there. People are making suggestions, so that's where we have ideas on our Discord channel, but also open to your feedback.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So this is like essentially if people add suggestions like feature requests
Exactly.
or something like this, then it would come up in ideas. Okay. I think that works. We also have a feedback channel that it could come up in. I'm not sure. Where there's suggestions and feedback there. Do you see that channel? Right under show your project.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Right under what?
Under show your project. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the channel. If you go to our support page and you want to leave suggestions or feedback, then the Zapier puts it here. So it would make sense to have it here.
Okay.
But also, yeah, I don't know. I think ideas works too, whichever.
Yeah. Okay. I think whichever makes sense, and maybe this one is the best because it's kind of like similar.
Yeah, it's like a suggestion box, and then usually like, so when I was talking about creating this token log for feature requests, like I'll come in here and I'll go to the repo and then we'll add them all to the token log.
Okay, so I'll redirect it here.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Ashley,
Mm-hmm.
going back to the Discord guide update, if you can wait a couple of weeks, I can probably get it done over my sort of traveling time by the end of next week. The only thing is, I think we discussed about me getting access to update the Giveth docs. If I have got access, I don't see how to get in. So maybe if we can just catch up a bit at some point outside of this call, I can give you a hand with that.
Yeah, I mean, and I can kind of go over it here because I think maybe it's a good thing for everybody to know. But if you go to docs.giveth.io and you go to any of the documents, down here at the bottom of the document, it says edit this page. And you can click here and it will bring it up in GitHub. And you can make any edits that you need here. And when you commit the changes, you just want to create a new branch for this commit and start a pull request so that somebody can then review it and then they can commit the changes.
Thanks.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Because if you commit directly to the master branch, it will make the changes like on their own, and it would be nice to just have somebody review. So either I or Mitch will see that somebody made a change, and we can go in and just make sure that the formatting and everything is correct, and then push it to push the change through.
When's your last day before
My last
Burning Man? Were you off of?
5th? The 25th will be my last day.
25th, okay.
Yeah, so next Thursday. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday.
Okay.
All right, we're coming up to the top of the hour. We've got about 3 more minutes before we jump over to the comms call, so that everybody has a heads up. But I feel pretty complete. I think we touched on everything that we needed to touch on, and I think going forward, some of these tasks from maybe Rainer and I, should we make a list of some of the things that the tasks that Communitas was working on and just maybe add them to this agenda for next week so we can make sure that they don't get left behind? Is that something you could help me with? And I'll start adding some that I know of, but maybe there's some that I don't know of.
Yes, of course we can do that. I'm not going to be there anymore next week. I'm with Build Week already. But
All
yeah.
right, but just we have a collective place to put them. We can put them here in the agenda, and then.
Yes, I agree. It's a good idea.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming. Man, there's a lot of people in here today, and it feels great. And I'm actually really excited. I feel so good after the Connect call and the outcome that came, and I feel really good moving on, a lot lighter and a lot clearer. And I hope that other people in here do as well.
Yes,
Yes.
thanks.
Yeah, for sure.
It was nice warm-up party.
Yeah. I mean, it's really nice to even just look at the calendar for today and know that we don't have 3 hours of calls straight. That's really nice.
For sure. Thanks, Ashley, for hosting.